I often think that a personal caregiving experience is one of the loudest experiences of our lives. There's a lot of noise, and noise is the inspiration for this week's Caregiving Comfort. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Brown, and I write weekly comforts that I hope remind you that you are not alone during your personal caregiving experience. I started writing caregiving comforts in 2003. I started helping my dad in 2004, and for the next 20 years, I was involved in helping my dad and then my mom. When I first started caregiving comforts, it really was for family caregivers. And then as my personal caregiving experience really became intense, they were for me. I felt so much better when I wrote it out. My parents have since died, and so now I'm writing these again for you. I thought about this week's comfort because of where I live. So I live in a small apartment. I live on the first floor of a 2-story apartment building. I have a neighbor above me and then to the right of me, and they are noisy. And they are noisy because they have little kids. The neighbor above me has a daughter who I'm guessing is probably 18 or 19, and she has a little toddler who's about 2 years old. And they live in this small 1-bedroom apartment. Next to me is a grandmother who takes care of her grandchildren. She has a granddaughter who lives with her full time, and then she has 2 grandsons who come to visit with her on the weekend. And again, they are all in this small 1-bedroom apartment. So there's constant noise above me. There's balls that bounce. There's a little toddler that jumps up and down and runs all around. And he does that until about 11 o'clock at night. He also screams. He's just screaming right now. And then to the right of me, they also bounce balls, not on the floor, but against the wall, the shared wall, the wall I share with them. They scream and shout. It's a lot. Now, because I appreciate that these families are doing their best during what you could assume to be challenging situations, I try to stay quiet about all the noise. So I bite my tongue, but inside my head, I am screaming because I'm so frustrated with all the noise. And I remember the noise during caregiving when I would bite my tongue, but I was screaming in my head. So here's what I wrote for you about noise. It's hard to know which is worse, the noise all around you or the noise inside you. The noise around you sounds like everyone needing you at the same time for very different, complicated reasons. The noise inside you sounds like the worries and doubts shouting at you. How do you quiet the noise? When the needs of others gets loud and could create a panic, you can bring the calm. You can ask for extra time, for someone to wait, for another to help. You do not have to do everything all at once, all by yourself. In fact, no one can meet that kind of tall order because no one can You are in good company. When the worries and doubts send off that horrible emergency alarm in your head, you can turn the volume up on a better station so that you can silence the siren. You can settle into listening to a playlist that comforts or energizes, depending on what you need. You can listen to a podcast that encourages you. You can read aloud the written words from your favorite book that remind you that you are okay. It's also important to take your own turn, letting out your own noise. You deserve an audience too. As often as you can, tell another who gets it about the noise you hear so you can turn it off. Caregiving is a noisy world. You can be intentional about who gets your ear, what gets your listening attention, and when you need your own good listener. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for all you do. I'm Denise Brown.